I kind of decided to glue the bumpers onto the valances for both the front and the back. Main reason being is the fit on those isn't great. The rear one, there's quite a lot of gaps actually around the back, and the front one doesn't really fit that well on the front at all. And then to get the bumper on there afterwards and get all of that lined up, you're going to start knocking that off because it just doesn't work properly. That's why I kind of decided that I'll glue the bumper onto this, onto the valance, and now that's actually a stable component. I can then put that on the front because we've got the internal edge of that fits along the front edge. If we bring this around, actually, it fits on the front edge just there, and it doesn't marry up very well at all. There's no way of getting around it either, if to be honest, because you can't put these valances on before you get the front on. Before you actually put the chassis into the body. So you kind of have to leave this as is and then glue it on and afterwards. And then the only problem with that would be is the fact that once you've done that, you'd have to then come back in and do a lot of work on it just to get it to look half decent. So I kind of forgone that. Having them on with the bumpers does actually hide a multitude of sins on those areas, so that's not quite so bad. Yeah, so I think that's just the way I'm going to handle it. I think it's just going to be the best way to deal with that, without having to go back in and making a lot of minor or a lot of major alterations and using putty and sanding sticks and everything, you know, because as I say, it just means then that I've got to go along and repaint the whole front end and the whole of the back end, which is something, to be fair, that I'm not really wanting to do. You know, and it's a shame because these are the only areas of this particular build that that aren't working too well at all. But never mind, you know, it's just one of those things, I guess. I could, I suppose, if I wanted to take the time, get it right, but you know, I've got other things that I'm looking forward to doing. You know, I've got the submarine that I want to do. I'm just itching to get on to that. Yes, I suppose if I was to take more time and more care over it, yes, I could get around those issues, and I would be able to, but you know, for me, knowing what the bad fit of these parts are on this car, and the fact that the chassis doesn't really fit that well within the body either, it's like a case of, do I really want to do it, knowing that, you know, it's at the end of the day I'd be firefighting all the way with the whole thing, you know, and it would take me 10 times as long to build it. So it's just a case of I'm being a bit lazy, you know, being honest about that one. I am being a bit lazy with it. So I'm just going to do the best that I can with what I've got, sort of straight out the box without trying to modify anything, etc., to get that done. And then as soon as these are on, the only thing that's left is like the door handles that need to go on, and a couple of other little bits and pieces, and then it'll be done. Plus the fact we did on the back end, unfortunately, have a little bit of a boo-boo on the inside. Unfortunately, we got a little line there and then a little line there. It's unfortunately where the super glue went onto the window, and there's no way that I can get that off now, which is a bit of a shame, but never mind. But yeah, apart from those little issues, it's not too bad, I guess. You know, as I say, if you take your time, take your care over it. Now, I've never built one of these, you know, I'm not really sort of a car person, if that makes sense. I normally do starships and stuff like that, so I don't really know to look out for little issues like this where we've got that window that sticks out. I guess if I'd have known about that to begin with, before I'd done anything else, I would have actually got that I would have got that sort of heated up and bent over so it actually goes in properly. What I'm going to do now is just basically glue the doors in position and then get these glued in as well as best as I can. It's a bit of a shame that you're going to not have the doors opening, because that was part of the reason why I brought the kit, but I guess it's old tooling, etc. And I guess with most of the things that I'm used to working on, I don't have these kind of problems. But so I don't really, I've never really thought about it. So I think next time I build a car, yes, I will sort of think about these kind of things when you come to doing the fit and finish of them. I'll take into account these and try and work around those from the offset, so I can get them right at the beginning rather than at the end think, oh my god, they're not going to forget, this is what I'm going to have to do to try and get around it. So yeah, I mean, building cars, there's a bit of a bit of a learning curve on these as well, I guess. So yeah, but I'm just going to carry on with these few extra little bits, get those done, and then this car will be done, along with the Trans Am. Sorry, not the Trans Am, the Pontiac Firebird. And then them two will be done, and then, as I say, I can then move on to doing my submarine diorama, which is the thing that I'm looking forward to the most at the moment, to be fair. So I'll carry on, get these few bits done, and then come back to you. Well, we got the Mustang finished now, and if you don't look too hard, you won't see some of the problems that I've had with matching the panels up and everything. As I say, we've got the doors glued into place. These parts here have actually been glued into the frame as well. There's nothing I could really do about that, to be fair. As I say, if I'd have looked at that to begin with when I first started, then I would have most probably picked that up and able to correct it, but never mind. That's what the engine bay is looking like as well. See if we can get a little bit of a shot up on that, get some light down on it as well, and then hopefully we might be able to see. There we go. So we have got all of the little wires and the pipes, etc., in there, which make it look pretty good. Quite happy with that. The engine bay does look quite good. So yeah, happy with the results on that. So if we just spring back out again, and that's what the sides is looking like. For some reason the wheels on the back don't fit in properly. I think there's another part of the kit that's a little bit screwed up. And then we've got in the back there, as you can see, we've actually got the quad lights installed as well. Oh, that's the bumper that's just gone. That's what it's looking like from underneath. So it's not looking too bad. And then if we try and lift this up so we can get an interior shot, the interior isn't looking too bad. And then if we can see in there, there you go. So it's not looking too bad. Not the best job ever in the world, but not too bad either. So I'm actually relatively happy with it. One of the things that I have actually found with this is the fact that I used the pearl white on the vehicle, and then I sprayed it clear with a Tamiya lacquer, a Tamiya gloss lacquer, and unfortunately it's kind of obliterated the metallic in it or the pearl, sorry, in it for some reason. I don't know why, but the pearl isn't quite so obvious in it now. You kind of have to really stare at it really hardly to see it. But there you go. So that's the end of this build anyway. I hope you've enjoyed following this. As I say, it's been a bit of a trial and error for me, because I'm not really used to doing cars like this, and as I say, for me it's a bit of a learning curve again, because I only used to really, back in the day, used to do the 1/24 cars without all of these fiddly bits involved, and the two 1/12 scale cars I've done. They didn't have opening doors or anything on them either, really. It was just the hoods that opened up. So yeah, a bit of a learning curve on this one, as well as a Pontiac as well. But yeah, I mean, next time if I do another one of these scale, I think, you know, the first thing to do really for me would be to look at the doors, to see how they fit, to see what I need to do to be able to kind of get them to sit in the frames a lot easier. I mean, I know from a few other people, you know, they say that these kind where the doors open, they don't always work properly anyway. But there you go. She's not looking too bad. Relatively happy with the results on that one. So that's about it. I will catch you in the next build, which will be the 1350 scale HMS Astute model. That's going to be going on AC Escape Diorama, so that's going to be interesting. I'm kind of looking forward to that build. So I will see you then. Thanks for watching, and as always, please do take care.